Will your hi-fi outlive you? Will it? I was thinking about this after I did that piece on the vintage audio system with the Audio Research preamp and the Audio Research power amp and the Tannoy Ardent speakers and the Garrard 401 turntable, all of which is 40 years old. And there's a fair chance then that the original owners of those products have departed planet Earth, and that their gear continues trucking on. So some of this stuff, like these Klipsch Fortes that I'm reviewing, they might have a useful life of 40, 50 years, right? They'll be around long after me. And that's fascinating, because what other products do people buy? Consumer products last that long, and not just last like they exist on a shelf to be dusted every now and then. I'm talking about stuff that's actively used. Well, I'd say 40, 50-year-old cars could fall into that category, but certainly not cameras, certainly not phones, certainly not televisions, certainly not computers. So it's kind of weird that high-end audio, which is, not in the mainstream of what people buy and cherish, but for the people in the know, high-end audio lasts a long, long time and has a very long, useful life. I don't know if you guys ever watched that PBS show, Antiques Roadshow, and people, schlep in their stuff and have it appraised, and I think maybe, let's say 50 years from now, so that would be 2068, right? Yeah, in 2068, will somebody carry in a pair of Klipsch Forte 3 speakers or a Krell amplifier or something, and they'll have some expert look at it and rub their chin like this and say, high-end audio. That was a big thing back in the turn of the century and into it was sort of fading by the beginning part of the 21st century, but it was a really big deal at one point. No, it wasn't that. But they'll get some expert and they'll look at it and they'll confer with their other experts, and they'll say, oh yes, Audeze headphones, those were made in Southern California by this crazy little company. And then they went on to make gaming headphones and lost their mojo. No, I'm just kidding. But high-end audio has legs. It lasts. It's built to last, and in fact it does. Not everything. I know you can write letters and comments about how your thing crapped out, but a lot of it lasts a long time. It's funny, I bought an NAD 3020, an original NAD 3020, so I guess it was from the middle 80s, and it was trucking along. It had issues with noise and stuff, but it sounded pretty good. And then I got in this brand new 3020D, the digital 3020, and I was going to compare the all analog 3020 against the shiny new digital 3020. And I plugged them in, I was ready to go and start my listening comparison, and I turned on the digital 3020 and it lit up, and I turned on the analog 3020 and it set out a spark and a little puff of smoke, and it went off to that analog chamber in the sky and was never heard from ever again. But it was a weird time for it to die, because it would have been cool to have that comparison, but it just wasn't going to happen. So all I have is my memories. But that's an NAD. That's it was $175 integrated amplifier. And that wasn't built like a high-end component. That was built like a mass market component that actually sounded exceptionally good, but not high-end really. And therein lies some of the difference between, let's say, audiophile gear and stuff that's high-end. High-end would be the higher end, the more expensive gear, the stuff that is built to have lifetimes in the decades, many, many decades. I mean, the 3020 lasted decades, but not quite enough to get over that hump with that battle with the 3020D. But no, like these headphones here. These are Audeze. These are Hi-Fi Man HE1000 originals, and they're trucking along really well. They're pushing now 6 or 7 years old, still sounding great. But anyway, You get the gist, right? High-end will, if you have a nice high-end system now, it'll probably be running after you're pushing up daisies. Not to be, well, anyway. My name's Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show, and it does come up daily, so please check back often. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you dig this sort of thing. Share it with your friends. Do all that social media stuff. If you really like it, check out my Patreon page, which can be found at patreon.com/audiophiliac, and I will thank you in advance for doing that. Bye.